Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 277 of Gaming with Grief. And I'm just going to review Ghost of Yotei for you guys, so let's get into that. If you like the review, please like and subscribe, hit the buttons down below and all that. That would really help me out. But yeah, let's talk about Ghost of Yotei. Alright, so I had a lot of thoughts when I was playing this game. I played for about 49 hours, at least that's what my clock said on PS5. And I beat the Yotei 6, which is the main... It's in the trailers. It's the main kind of thrust of the game. Is for you to go after the Yotei 6. And I don't know, this is kind of a low point for me with the game. I usually like revenge stories. I like John Wick. There's an obscure movie called Peppermint with Jennifer Garner. What else? I mean, Sekiro is a revenge tale in a way. Love that. Any show, movie, book where someone has been wronged and then has to go about, enacting that, righting the wrong, as it were. Love that stuff. I love it so much. But I just found that this story, especially with Ghost of Yotei, it was kind of like your standard. It was a standard story of, revenge. I don't think it really offered anything different. There was some kind of musings at the end, but it's in most revenge stories. Now that I'm really thinking about it, most revenge stories do have something of, what am I going to do after all this? And Ghost of Yotei does that. I do like the direction it takes. I don't want to... This isn't a spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil it. I like that. I think Eric Ishii does a great job of being Atsu. I spent a lot of time with Atsu. I think Atsu's a good character. There's some lines of dialogue that made me kind of question, like, wait a minute. But anyway, I think for me the story was a low point, but the performance was great. So, take that for what you will, I guess. And I was playing this last night to play it some more because I think I will platinum it. And I was also wanted to capture footage for the review. But I was playing it and I was like, this is so enjoyable. Playing this game is so enjoyable. But the act of, the story kind of was a big push away. And then Ghost of Tsushima was a great game that came out, I believe, in 2020. From same developer, Sucker Punch, and there was some additions to Ghost of Yotei, but I don't think it was so revolutionary that I was kind of blown away by what I was doing. I did have this feeling of deja vu of like, yeah, I've been to the fox dens before. You have wolf dens you can go to this time, which is cool. That was one of the additions. It's in the trailer, but a wolf will come and randomly aid you, depending on how many wolf dens you go to. They may aid you more. They could age you less, again, depending on how many wolf dens you go to. And they do have like a second chance mechanic where if you're downed and you think you're dead, maybe the wolf will show up, maybe it won't. And I think that was kind of neat, but it wasn't, again, the things you weren't doing were so revolutionary. You still upgraded your equipment by collecting materials and money. You ran into different people in the world. I think there is some firearms in this one. Well, I know there's some firearms in this one. That was in the trailer, so I'm not really giving anything away there. But you upgrade those. That was fun. It was fun to use firearms and basically have all these tools at your disposal. I do like the fact that in the beginning she is just the ghost. I did in Ghost of Tsushima love that Jin did have to wrestle with his samurai upbringing or family. The idea of like, should I be disgraceful? Should I not be disgraceful? Should I take this dark path and be a shinobi? But I think Atsu immediately is like, I'm just out for revenge. I don't care. I just got to get the job done. You can make some dialogue choices like, hey, I don't want to kill you, or yes, you draw your sword. That was good. The game, but like the combat, I think is where this game really shines. Because I found myself kind of in the lulls of like, just like in Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei, the wind takes you to your next destination. And that is great. But the wind mechanic was neat in Tsushima. And this one, I think they added a little bit of like flurries on the wind, so you could see them kind of lightly going up rocks and things. Maybe that's just the fidelity of the PS5 compared to the PS4. But, without big additions, it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, this is great. This is so good. But I think generally, many things in between this game were like, okay, there's a new game you can play with coins where you flick coins. Seni Hajiki, I think it's pronounced. And you basically flick coins at a table. You try to, whatever. There's rules. It was fun. But I never looked at the map because there's gambling houses in the game. And I never looked at the map and said, I want to go gamble. There was a couple times where it was like, hey, maybe I'll give you some info on a mission. Okay. Because there's bounties to collect in the game, which were fun. Bounties were actually really cool because it was kind of this mystery sometimes. Where is the person, blah, blah, blah. One of the bounties, the woman tried to poison me. She's dead. That's right. I digitally got her. But yeah, I think some of it is just, I felt that, like, the fact that this game is being aided by the PS5 and is just better is good, but I wanted something a little bit more, I don't know if revolutionary is the right term. This just seems like more of Ghost of Tsushima with better graphics and whatever. And again, the game is beautiful, what is it? There's a coastline you go to at the end. I think it's a Oshima coast. I hope I'm saying that right. But you go there, and there's beautiful cherry blossoms all over. The ginkgo tree is the emblem of the game, and there's yellows. You get sword patterns in your game to get your sword to have a different sheath color and the hilt. You find these pillars of the fallen, which are dead warriors. You pick up their sword and kind of examine them. Those look all beautiful. Some of them have spikes on the hilt. They look so cool. But because I'm the wolf, and my father was a weaponsmith in the game, they have wolf's fur on yours, and I was like, no, we're not changing any of this. I'm the wolf, So I guess that was a good way to immerse me in it. Again, Eric Ishii does a great job playing Atsu, but I don't want to spoil this, but there was a major thing I had with the story. But I think the shining star of this game is definitely. Well, maybe there's two shining stars. Obviously, the look of the game and the way it presents itself, going into different areas and having a different color palette. It seems like you go in the snow and there's reds and things, and the valleys have all these beautiful greens and yellows and whites. And you go to the coast and there's these cherry blossoms and some reds there in the water. That's a big shining star. A lot of people say graphics don't matter anymore. I don't know if that's really true. I know for me, it's not the number one selling point anymore. But this game presents amazingly. I think for me, the big shining star of this is combat. They've improved on the combat of Ghost of Tsushima. Instead of picking a light and medium and heavy stance, I remember there was a rock, paper, scissors thing to that. There is in this, but you pick a different weapon. So you pick either, the katana, the dual katana, so you pull out another blade. It looks pretty cool. A yari, which is a spear, basically. And the korishima, or koriga, I always say it wrong, but it's basically the sickle with the chain. You can hit someone with the chain and pull them in with the sickle. That's really neat. I can never say that word. I kept trying to say this when I was writing all my notes down and everything, and I couldn't for the life of me say it. So I apologize, but it's a great weapon. And then the last weapon is you get firearms, which is great. And then you go to different masters and learn techniques, which I don't really remember in Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think you do. But you basically do that, and you go to these altars of reflection where there are these little shrines that you basically bow at, and you get a skill point, and then you use that skill point to level up the tree. It doesn't really feel... The only thing I think that was missing from combat is it never really felt I was making a unique Atsu. I guess I don't have to play the whole game. I don't have to platinum it. I don't have to get every altar of reflection. But there's this thing of I'm just getting all these, which I guess they want to give you all the tools in the toolkit. But there is this thing to say in games that you can make your own version of a character. And I know Atsu really wants revenge. There is great shinobi techniques and what do they call it? Survival techniques and things you could do. But I really wanted to be no, I am all about the shadows, And I think a lot of people said it, and I remember saying it in my review of Ghost of Tsushima. This is probably a very more refined version of Assassin's Creed. The stealth and everything just works better mostly. And I played Assassin's Creed Shadows earlier this year, and I gotta say, I do prefer this type of stealth, where I think it telegraphs how you're assassinating people better. It gives you better tells. And I think because of the fidelity, like I said, a lot of people say the graphics don't matter. But because of the fidelity, I think it does affect how good I am at stealth, because things are clearly telegraphed. Like, we're in a red forest and there's 3 men with, like, you know, like bright white shinobi outfits, which, again, they did that as a game design thing to be like, hey, kill these 3 guys. But it just made it easier in the game to see those things and take those people out. So it really made me appreciate combat more. And I think for me, I literally, when I was writing on my notes, I was like, I hate it. I love it. You know, I didn't know what to feel about this game. I was like, I don't like this. Oh, man, I really love this. Oh, I don't love the story. I've seen this before. Because even like me, who loves revenge movies, I'm kind of going all over the place. But for me that loves revenge movies, when you see a revenge movie, you want the main character to say something that is like just totally encapsulates why they're going on a revenge spree and what sets them apart from other protagonists that have gone on this revenge spree. And I don't think Atsu really said anything in the game. It's like, I get it, you know? It wasn't even like, you know, it's a standard thing. It's in the trailer. You killed my parents. It's like, well, that is just a kind of standard thing for people to say. That's why I'm doing this. I didn't want her to say, like, you know, even if it was something as selfish, which this probably is terrible, but her father was a swordsmith and training her how to use a blade. And if she would have said, you know, not only did you take my family away from you, but you took away our livelihood, and, like, you know, my father was a craftsman and made me appreciate the blade in a way, like I wanted to be a fisherman or something. I wanted to be a scholar. And you've taken not only my parents, but you've taken my purpose away from me. Like something like that, of like, I was going to learn these things and he was making me passionate about it. You know, you've killed my father, and you've even killed, I mean, in this version of, you know, Japan at the time it is, I want to say the 1600s, how many swordsmiths are left? You know, have you taken a way of life from, like, Japanese noblemen or warriors? You know, I just think there's something more to do. And so, again, I didn't like the story, but then I would start doing combat and I'd find a bounty, or like things were clicking where you're doing perfect parries and you're stabbing someone. You could pick up fallen weapons off the ground of enemies and throw them at other enemies, and you just get in these incredible chains of like, man, I am a shinobi. You see how I stabbed that guy? Yeah, I was seen, but nobody was around me. I killed him, picked up his spear, threw to the guy below him, you know. And later you find brutes and you think, I'm never going to be able to beat these guys, and then they give you an otagachi, which is like this, it's basically a big katana, and it's the only reason it is there to take out brutes, and it's just so good to run up to them and just double hit them and just watch them fall over. And all that was great. And then you'd go to, like, the coast and see these beautiful cherry blossoms, and, like, go to your old home and the ginkgo trees growing back with these beautiful yellow petals. You'd run along the field with these wild horses, like, and that was so good. But then you're like, oh, another fox den. Okay, well, I guess I'll follow this. Oh, good, a charm. Okay, charms are cool. You know, I guess that's good. I guess. You know, what are we doing? You know, and it was just kind of disappointing. So I'm not going to sit here and yuck anybody's yum. I definitely wanted to play this game because I miss Ghost of Tsushima. I did enjoy the gameplay in the first game, and I thought maybe they got it again, which I think they do. They have something here. I just don't know if I need another Ghost game of like, go get fox dens. Hey, we've added a wolf. This time you can pet the cats, which would be neat, but I wouldn't be like, oh, this is so revolutionary. You know, I would just want, I don't know. I don't want to belittle anybody's fun. If you are really missing this, then you need to, you know, if you are missing this kind of gameplay and like Ghost of Tsushima, stuff like that, and you want to do it again, I definitely recommend it. But just know you're just going there for like the straight up. For me, it was the straight up combat. It is nothing about I'm gonna be the best that I ever am at this. I'm going to be so good, you know, none of that. It's just about combat. So I suppose, I know $70 is a lot right now. If you can swing it, I would, no pun intended, I would recommend getting it now. If not, if you're on a budget, I mean, the holidays are coming up. Maybe you're saving. I mean, times are tough out there, tariffs and all that. Maybe wait till this goes on sale. I mean, it did just come out. Maybe there'll be a Black Friday sale, or you'll find it at a price point that you're like, yes, this is, I could pay $40 for this or whatever. Or maybe you get some Christmas money and, or some gift cards and you're like, I can swing, I could do it. It was $70. I got these gift cards. It's $30 now. I mean, I recommend playing this game, but I feel bad with everything that's going on to like spend $70 on it. So just, it is a fun game. Like I said, I've just laid out all the reasons why I think it's fun. It's unfun in the ways I just laid out. So I would recommend the game, but again, probably not at full price. But again, I know that's going to sound terrible, but I think Eric Ishii did a great job. And I know I've said a lot of negative things, but Sucker Punch, obviously, to spend 5 years on a game and have this much polish and like the locales and I'm sure I haven't looked anything up, but I'm sure just like in Tsushima, they did their research, they talked to people, that kind of stuff. But, kudos to them for pulling this off again. I just saw a headline of an article today that it's been selling well. So, again, I've said some things that I didn't like about the game, but I wish them success. I don't, want the game to fail. And I hope there's going to obviously be more from the studio. And so, yeah, I guess that's my review. It's been a while, you guys. Again, if you like what you hear or see, please like and subscribe. Excuse me. Please like and subscribe and tell everybody about my little channel that I'm bringing back from it's not dead. It was just in a coma for a bit. So it was a long coma birth. That's a long joke. Anyway, everybody have a good month, and I'll see you guys later.